Good evening, you're watching Estuary News, I'm Hugh Riches. In the headlines tonight, the future of two derelict buildings in Hull, splitting Grimsby in two, and sunken vessels revealed in the River Hull. And later in tonight's programme, I'll be talking to Josh Priestley about space travel, and before that, Anne Winslow on coping with the winter. A 65-year-old man has died in an incident involving a forklift truck at Swift Caravans in Cottingham. Police, fire and ambulance crews attended the scene on Dunswell Road just after 10 a.m. this morning. The Health and Safety Executive is investigating the accident. The Swift Group said it was deeply saddened and that it was too early to establish how the accident occurred. Concerns are growing for two missing girls in Hull. They were last seen leaving school in the Holderness Road area at around 12 yesterday afternoon. There's been a reported sighting of 11-year-old Leah Taylor and 12-year-old Leah Smith in the Marfleet Lane area last night. Hull City Council has said it plans to buy and demolish the old BHS and Edwin Davis sites. There'll be a new ice arena for the city centre in a move that's expected to cost over £5 million. The council says the mural on the BHS building would not be destroyed but included in any future building design. A final decision on the purchase of the sites will be made at a full cabinet meeting on Monday. The Grimsby parliamentary constituency is set to be split in two as part of a shake-up of UK boundaries. The independent body, the Boundary Commission, aims to reduce the number of MPs in the UK by 50. Fred McNamara brings us the full report.
The Boundary Commission is set to split Grimsby's electoral map in half. This comes after the government asked the Boundary Commission to reduce the number of MPs in the UK down to 50.
Great Grimsby currently has 59,000 voters living in it.
However, this falls short of the required 71,000 voters. The proposed constituencies will consist of Grimsby North and Barton and Grimsby South and Cleethorpes. The proposed changes have drawn criticism from the public. However, the Commission insists that there was no other popular alternative. A campaign proposed against the changes has drawn more than 300 signatures. A third and final public consultation will be held before the vote is put to Westminster next year. From McNamara, Estuary News.
There's a sense of pride in Yorkshire, but things could be better. That's the view of the deputy leader of the Yorkshire Party, Stuart Arnold. He argues that the county differs from other parts of the UK because of the loss of many key industries. He says greater investment was needed. I spoke to him in this week's Hot Topic.
Yorkshire's taken a hit over the last generation or so in terms of its, especially in terms of its economy and the sort of staples that were here, the textiles, the steel, the coal and the fishing. And I think there's a view that we haven't quite recovered from that yet. And there's certainly two things which need to be improved, and one is educational attainment. There needs to be much more investment in education and to prepare people with the skills and qualifications and so on. And the other thing is infrastructure investment, which we're severely lacking.
Humberside police are warning people to be vigilant following reports of a telephone scam. The con is targeted at the vulnerable and elderly when they receive a call from someone pretending to be from the police fraud squad. They're advised there's been suspicious activity on their bank accounts. The victim is then coerced into withdrawing a large amount of money from the bank after calling a number, and undercover officers would meet them. The police say any calls requesting financial details should be treated with suspicion. East Riding Council has removed 13 sunken vessels from the River Hull. They were recovered between Ticton and Beverley Beck as part of the multi-million-pound River Hull Integrated Catchment Strategy, which aims to improve the flow of the water. The operation saw 10 identified vessels removed, with 3 previously unknown wrecks. We spoke to John Sparrow during the salvage.
The problem with this section of watercourse is nobody owns it. There's no navigational authority or anything. So anybody who sees a free space or a free piece of land where they can moor a boat, they will just come and moor a boat. They tend to be more older boats in poor condition, hence that over time they get left for long periods of time and eventually sink.
New research has revealed that workers in Hull are some of the richest in the country. The research by CV Library says it's because professionals have significantly lower living costs than other major UK cities such as London. People in Hull have an average disposable income of around £1,000 a month after basic costs are deducted from wages. The report also revealed that Hull's property prices are lower than elsewhere in the UK. It was the third cheapest city in the country. Lincolnshire Police are urging the public to report hate crime incidents. National Hate Crime Awareness Week aims to raise awareness of hate crimes and encourage local authorities to work with partners and communities to tackle them. Chief Inspector Dan Wymont said it's vital the public have the confidence to report incidents so police can bring an end to prejudice and discrimination in communities across Lincolnshire. I'm joined now by Anne Winslow to tell me a bit about stress and getting a bit more rest and how to deal with the approaching winter. Anne, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now then, it's, mid-October?
Yeah.
In a couple of weeks' time, 10 days, something like that, the clocks are going to go back.
Yeah.
That's disastrous, isn't it?
Well, it is a case of we've been really lucky with the weather because we seem to have had summer extended, and the outdoor life and the sun is so good for us. So it is being aware now as we head into winter that we need to make extra effort to look after ourselves, just because stress, the outdoors just actually release stress. So we need to find alternative ways, but also making sure we get out as much as we can, even in the cold weather.
But it's not the cold that sort of keeps us in. We're all used to wrapping up well in lots of layers of warm wool. It's the fact that it doesn't get light till about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it gets dark again at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's that lack of light that's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, light, it is. I mean, the bright light is really, really good for us. So it is a matter of just, I actually use visualisation, imagine lights coming into my body, which people who meditate, that sounds normal. People who don't, it sounds weird. But the mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagine, so it is beneficial.
Well, sometimes it can be normal to be weird.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. So what do we do then? How do we get ourselves outside a bit more?
I think it is. We are really lucky because, I live local to Cleethorpes, so I've got Cleethorpes Beach, but we've all got something near us. The woods and trees and that are so beneficial. It's like nature has given us everything to keep us sort of upbeat, but in the winter we tend to just sort of batten down the hatches. So it is making ourselves get out more. And people with dogs, it's brilliant because they do it every day, twice a day.
Well, having a dog just cheers you up anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, well, they give love and affection, and your love and affection, that releases oxytocin into your system, which is actually a natural feel-good hormone chemical in your body.
So it really is true that if you want to feel a bit better, spend 5 minutes a day stroking a dog.
Yeah, or cat. Yeah,
okay.
Or even just being kind to each other.
And you do get, well, not from each other, but from a dog, you get unconditional love.
Yeah.
From a cat. They say that dogs have owners, cats have staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're just beautiful things as well.
Yeah.
So what else? As the winter approaches, it's a long time till we're next going to have a holiday. Yeah. We've got that whole ghastly trauma of Christmas to go through.
That's in your opinion. Some people like it.
So, is there anything indoors that we can do?
There's lots you can do. Like baths are brilliant because that's like the water, the warmth, it's soothing, it's relaxing. And it's like I have to make an effort to keep reminding myself to do these things now as we're sort of heading that way. But baths are absolutely beautiful and relaxing. And just getting some just quiet, chill time, really, when it's not full on, not always having your head in a gadget because that is having the opposite effect, really. That can be stressful, especially games, if you're shooting everybody.
You treat a lot of people who are feeling a bit of stress or anxiety, and you help them with meditation and various other things. Are these screens really damaging us all the time that we're looking at telephones or tablets or laptops? Is that doing us harm?
There's different opinions on it. I tend to think personally I can feel the energy from them, and if I'm on them too long I don't feel too comfortable. They do give off a blue light which actually affects your natural instincts to feel tired, so it does actually shut off you're feeling tired, so you can sort of stop up hours and hours and not getting your natural body rest that it needs.
Well, that can be quite useful though sometimes, couldn't it?
Yeah, if you need... It is like if all of a sudden you've got a deadline, something to do, and it's like 11 o'clock, if you're on the screens, you don't get tired with them really.
Okay. Last week was Mental Health Week.
Yeah.
And we were talking on the programme then quite a lot about stress at work.
Yeah.
How does one alleviate that? How do you, if you have legitimate pressures on your consciousness, what does one do?
It depends really, like what the environment like is at work. It's if you're really, really busy, but it's a positive environment, then that doesn't affect your body the same as if it's a really negative environment. And I think it is just finding outlets. Exercise is absolutely brilliant, and talking to people as well. You know, letting people know if the workload is too much, or you know, just finding joy in your life, you know, that outside of your work life as well, making sure there's a lot of, you know, positive things going on in your life as well as work.
And you've made a point of saying you're just being with other people. It's good, with other friendly people.
As long as I don't moan all the time.
No, as long as but it's always a question of, you know, be busy, be with other people, and if you can't be busy, be with other people, and if you can't be with other people, be busy, I suppose.
Time on your own is good for you. I like it. And if you learn to like it, that is really nice. It's quite peaceful. It's like learning to be your own best friend in a way. And then you've always got a best friend.
Sounds rather narcissistic, doesn't it?
Not really. It's like, you know, otherwise you're not clingy and needy then. Well, so it makes you more independent.
My colleagues laugh at me for talking to myself as I'm gazing into that blue-lit computer. Maybe that's a terribly healthy thing to be doing.
It is. It's good time on your own. It stops you being needy, and it's just good for you. It's nice.
Okay, finally, I'm asking this for reasons that you'll not surprise you, having said what we said before the programme started. I've got absolute agony of back pain. What do I need a small Oriental person to walk up and down on my back?
You need to get it checked out medically first, and then start looking at alternatives.
Okay, right. So I think a bit of yoga and a couple of aspirin might be the answer to that one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And thanks so much for coming in. As always, good to see you. Let's talk again when a more cheerful season is just coming around the corner.
Christmas.
Thanks so much, Anne. Join me after the break. Dan will bring us a roundup of the latest sports news, and I'll be talking about space with Josh Priestley. Welcome back. You're watching Estuary News. Still to come tonight, Dan brings us a roundup of all the latest sports news, and I'll be talking to Josh Priestley about a zero-gravity experience. But before that, a couple of lines of breaking news. Those two missing girls from Hull, Leah Taylor and Leah Smith, happily are no longer missing. They've been found and are well and being looked after in Hull city centre. And Beverley Road in Hull is closed in both directions. It's shut between Freetown Way and Fountain Road, while police are dealing with a man on a roof. The public are being urged to avoid the area. An apprenticeship event will be held in Scunthorpe next week. It'll present the different types of apprenticeships on offer in North Lincolnshire for people of all ages. Businesses attending the event include British Steel, Humber Business Training Centre and North Lindsey College. The event's part of the 2017 Festival of Skills and Opportunities. It takes place at the Pods next Thursday between 9:30am and 12:30pm. Singing duo Paul Heaton and Jacqueline Abbott have announced a series of gigs. They'll be performing at Dalby Forest as part of the Forestry Commission's series of summer events next June. The event has been running for 17 years and it's held in 7 forests across the country. The duo's new performances follow their successful outdoor gig in June, which form part of the City of Culture celebrations. Tickets go on sale on Friday. A Northern Soul and Motown night is coming to Hull. It'll give people a chance to experience the dance movement that originated in the north of England. It features top DJs who've played Wigan Casino and Blackpool Tower. The Northern Soul movement developed in the late 60s in Manchester and Sheffield and continues to attract followers of all ages across the country and abroad. The event takes place on the 28th of October at Hull City Hall from 9pm. A local teenager has taken part in the European Space Agency's zero-gravity experience. Josh Priestley joins me now with his father Neville. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for coming along.
Thank you.
Josh, you're wearing a fantastic uniform. You are almost dressed as if you're ready to go and visit the moon. Could you just tell us a little bit about that badge on your shoulder there?
I got given it by Tim Peake, the astronaut, for doing really, really well on my zero-gravity flight.
And tell us about that zero-gravity flight. What did it feel like?
It's hard to explain what it felt like. You had to sort of go and do it to know what it felt like.
I'm not going to do that.
No.
It's just, this is when the plane goes up and then for a few seconds it's in free fall and everything in it is in free fall.
Yeah.
And so you in relation to the aeroplane that you're in, you are floating in the sky, in the air.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like being Peter Pan. You can fly.
Yeah.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. You mentioned Tim Peake. We'll come back to him, but let's just get a little clip of him talking to you now.
Yeah.
So, Josh, first things first, congratulations on your first parabolic flight. You look like you had fun. Was it good fun?
Yeah. Yes, it was good fun. I really enjoyed myself. And if I had another chance to go again, I would do.
Fantastic. So, for the first 2 parabolas, we did lunar gravity. What was it like to walk on the moon?
It was fun. It was different. I didn't expect it, but it was fun. It was, yeah, it's hard to describe, but it was really, really fun.
There we are. Apart from the zero gravity experience, just talking to Tim Peake must have been pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, Neville, tell us a bit. Who organised this? How did this come about?
It was done by Happy Days charity. They was contacted by the European Space Agency. They was looking for a candidate, had to fill a little bit of a criteria, had to be a disabled candidate, and also had to be able to appreciate what they was about to do. Happy Days got in touch with the World Federation School at Horncastle. Between them and a chap called Colin, they managed to get it whittled down to Josh being the only student in the UK that was on the application form, really.
Everybody needs a chap called Colin, don't they?
They do, yes. He's done wonders for getting Josh as far as he got him, and
Josh,
charity as well.
You do have a disability, but it's probably not the right word for it, because it doesn't seem to stop you from being able to do anything.
No, I do try and have a go at everything, really. I don't like for anything to stop me from doing it.
Absolutely not. This was in France, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
So you had what? Did you incorporate this into a family holiday and go and sample a little claret as well? Because Bordeaux is a pretty good place for that.
Yeah, it was a two-day visit, fairly full on going out there. None of us in the family had flown before. None of us had been out the UK.
None of you flown before?
No,
so
never been on a plane.
Your second flight was a zero-gravity flight?
Yeah, and then the third flight was him coming back home with us, which was a bit of a down-to-earth one for him after his zero-G.
Well, it was a bit of a letdown, it was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. So the whole thing was an experience for the family, as we didn't get to do the zero-G bit, but, you know, just the whole mini-holiday, mini-break was great.
Would you like to be an astronaut when you're a little older?
If I had the opportunity, yes. Yeah, if I had the opportunity, yeah.
You wouldn't find it a little bit frightening?
No.
Okay,
no.
Well, you're a braver man than I am. And Tim Peake, was he a good man to be working with, a good man to be working for?
Yeah, he was fantastic to work with. He was. I'm honoured really to have him as my, well, not really my guide, but teaching me to.
He was your mentor. For the 2 days.
And I would imagine that he was a very good role model to have your to have your son going to visit.
He was perfect, but so was all the other astronauts with other kids from different countries. You know, it was 8 of them on the flight, so they all had their own astronaut, their own hero to look up to.
I love the idea. Everybody gets their own astronaut.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. It was good for everybody. You know, it was one of them chance of a lifetime things. You know, and we're pleased that Josh made the most of it.
Did you get to look around the whole setup, the whole centre?
Yeah, we did get a chance to look around it all.
Were there any rockets?
No.
No, they don't launch from Bordeaux, do they? They go to French Guiana or something.
Yeah,
like
somewhere. Yeah, off location.
Down there to do that. Would you tempted to do it, Neville?
Given the opportunity, yes. Yeah. The whole experience was well worthwhile. Just for what we did without the zero-G bit. But yeah, if given the opportunity, I would jump at it.
And what about those horrible machines that spin round and put you into appalling amounts of gravity?
I don't think that one's for me. Zero-G would be fine, but not going round, and no, I don't think I'd be doing that one.
So what's your next adventure, Josh? You've not quite been into space, but you've experienced zero gravity with astronauts. What's next on your list?
I'm not quite sure at the minute. I'm thinking about that one at the minute.
Because it's very difficult to top that experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very difficult.
And would you be happy for Josh to go and be a spaceman one day?
Yeah. He's got my backing, whatever he wants to do.
Okay, fair enough. Congratulations, you're obviously made of the right stuff. Gentlemen, thank you both very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Story. Here's Dan with all the sports news.
Scunthorpe United host their first of 2 home games in 4 days this evening. Graham Alexander welcomes his former club Fleetwood Town to Glanford Park. He says he expects to have the same squad available from Saturday's loss to Rotherham. Elsewhere, Grimsby Town are at Cheltenham Town tonight in League 2. A win could see the Mariners move within 2 points of the playoffs following Saturday's home draw with Crawley. Ben Davis and Carly Osborne will undergo fitness tests to determine if they can feature at Whaddon Road. Both United and Town led their FA Cup first round opponents in the draw last night. The Iron will travel to Northampton Town while the Mariners head to Plymouth. Hull City duo David Myler and Seb Larson have learned their World Cup playoff opponents this afternoon. Myler's Republic of Ireland will play home and away against Denmark, while Larson's Sweden team have drawn Italy. The first legs will be played between the 9th and the 11th of November, with the second following 3 days later. Meanwhile, Jackson Irvine starred for City's reserve side against Huddersfield last night. The Australian scored twice in their 3-2 win. Greg Ollie scored the other. And finally, rugby and Hull Kingston Rovers player Will Oakes has received a call-up for this month's Rugby League World Cup in Australia. The utility back is available for Scotland, as his mother is from Falkirk. He joins Danny Addy, Ben Kavanagh and Kieran Moran as Robins players in the squad. The competition gets underway on October the 27th. And that's all for the sport.
Thanks very much, Dan. That's it for tonight. My thanks to Anne for trying to cheer us up as we face the coming winter, and my congratulations to Josh for almost being an astronaut, a spaceman. Remarkable experience. If you've done anything like that, then please get in touch with us. And you can do so through Facebook or Twitter, which will emerge beneath me in a moment. Email news@estuary.tv or phone Grimsby 01472 3155553, or you can write to us at Estuary TV, Nuns Corner, Laceby Road, Grimsby, North East Lincolnshire, DN345BQ. Do get in touch with any comments or stories that you think we should be covering. Until tomorrow, from all of us, good evening.